Hello! Today I'm going to be doing something that I like to call shameless self-promotion, and I do this because I am self-published. I'm a self-published author. I do understand that there is a little bit of negativity surrounding self-publishing, and I will be doing a video about that at a later date to let you know my views on the subject. But just for now, so you know, I have self-published 3 books. And when you are a self-published author, you have to do all of your promotion and put yourself out there, you know, through whatever means you possibly can, because you're not supported or backed by a traditional publisher or an agent who can find opportunities for you to go on television or do radio interviews, do interviews in magazines or whatever. So yeah, as a self-published author, you have to do a lot of work yourself, which I do understand is part of the whole thing. But I do find it quite difficult because although you have worked really hard on your manuscript, perfecting it, making it really, really good, you've edited, you've rewritten, you've done that countless times, and you're pleased and you're proud with what you've achieved with a manuscript at the end of all that hard work. But there is a fine line between that and coming across as arrogant or cocky or showing off about what you've done. And I think when it comes to self-promotion, you've got to have that balance. You want to share your work with people, but you don't want to be a show-off about it. You just want to share your work. So it has taken me a little while to feel comfortable enough with doing that, because people can be so negative. They can be positive, but they can also be so negative, and you have to have a thick skin to be able to deal with any kind of negative attitudes that come your way. And it's not just necessarily people being nasty or horrible about what you've done. It's still quite difficult if someone's read something of yours and they don't like it, and it's not that it's badly written, they just didn't enjoy it. And I think that's something you always have to kind of remember, that you're not going to please everyone, but I do want to please some people with my writing, and every now and then I do put something up on Twitter or Facebook about what I've done, but I don't think it's enough. It's not enough to really promote myself and put myself out there. I have put some of my books into my local library, and people do borrow them, which is a lovely feeling to know that there are people out there reading your work. But Lily, sorry, that was Lily. Yeah, it is a lovely feeling when people do read your books, but obviously I would like more people to read them, and the only way that will happen is if I put myself out there, like I say. So today I'm going to share with you one of my books that I've written, just tell you a little bit about it. I wrote it and published it about 2 years ago, so it has taken me a little while to actually feel confident enough to share it with you. Yeah, so I hope you like it. I'm sorry, but it's about Christmas, and I know we shouldn't mention the C word in August, but I have to say the weather that we've been having recently here in England has been quite autumnal, so I do feel like I'm getting ready for Christmas, because it has been really dark and rainy and windy. So I do understand that people don't want to be thinking about Christmas in August, but that's what my book's about, so I'm afraid I'm going to have to kind of push that a little bit. Anyway, so my book is called 12 Days of Krista May Rose, and it's only a small book. It's a little book, and it's a collection of Christmas short stories. I started writing this, well, the inspiration for this came when I was at I go to a writing group at the library in town, and we get given pieces of homework, and one of the pieces of homework was to write a short story or a poem, which included every gift that was given on the 12 days of Christmas. So partridge in a pear tree, hens, swans, maids milking, lords leaping, all of the different gifts had to be included in this story. And I did the homework. I do like a challenge, and it was quite challenging to put it in there, because I think we also had a word limit as well, which was, you know, quite difficult. And I did it, but I wasn't overly happy with what I'd written. So I did like the idea of writing something with the 12 days of Christmas in, because I do like Christmas. I think it's a lovely time of year, and so I started to write some stories that contained these elements. So in my head I decided to write 12 short stories. They'd be standalone stories, each with different characters, but just containing these elements. And when I started writing it, I realised that although I liked the idea, it needed to be more fluid and more connected. So I got rid of the idea of doing 12 separate standalone stories and wrote 12 stories that were connected through one character, and that one character, the main character, is Krista May Rose. And I chose the name Krista May Rose because it sounds a little bit like Christmas. I know it's not completely, you know, doesn't sound exactly like Christmas, but it kind of gives that impression. And Krista is the main character throughout the book, and the 12 stories are 12 of her Christmases, 12 Christmases experienced by one character. They're not, it starts off, the first chapter actually is the Christmas before Krista is born, and you get to experience her first Christmas through the experiences that she's having in her mother's womb. So it's Krista the fetus, which was quite an interesting way of writing, because you had to write, the only things that she could experience were the things that her mother was feeling and hearing and tasting and that kind of thing. So it starts off pre-birth and moves on to Krista at, you know, in old age. So it's not one Christmas after the other, but it does move through her life chronologically. And so we get to learn about Krista and her life and her family and other bits and pieces through these separate Christmases. I like the idea of just having kind of like a sneak peek into people's lives, where you just get a glimpse into a day or an hour or just one thing, and you can kind of then build up your own interpretation of what else is happening, because you're given clues to what's gone on in her life, but you're not outrightly told everything, and it allows the reader to kind of build the story around what is given. So each chapter contains one element of the 12 days of Christmas. So like I've said, the first story is Krista as a fetus, pre-birth, and she's experiencing a Christmas that her mother isn't particularly enjoying, because she's 11 months pregnant. No, she's not. She's 8 months pregnant. She's ready to give birth, and she just doesn't want to be pregnant anymore. She can't eat a Christmas dinner, which she usually enjoys. You know, she's tired. She just wants to fall asleep. And it's kind of based on my own mother's pregnancy with me, so I could get some information from my own mother about how she was feeling that Christmas, and you know, and she was, you know, very uncomfortable and very tired, and so the first chapter is called Rings, and like I say, it's Krista's first Christmas, although she's not yet born. The second chapter is Pipers, and Krista has been born. She's about 3 or 4 years old, and she's just getting ready for Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and she's helping her mum prepare the house for Christmas. Her mum is getting the turkey ready, leaving giblets in the sink, which is something my mum did, which I found quite traumatizing when I was little, to get a glass of water from the sink and to find turkey guts staring back at me. Krista's eating the last chocolate on her advent calendar. She's putting her stocking out ready for Father Christmas to come, and there's a kind of a childlike sense of excitement that is something that I think adults still feel, but children really have that intense kind of magical Christmas vision, and that's how Krista feels in the second chapter, called Pipers. Chapter 3 is called Hens, and Krista is a little bit older now. She's at school, she's at primary school, and she is her class is preparing for the yearly Christmas play, and it's something that the whole school is putting on for the parents. And Krista's class is rehearsing their dance. They'll be dancing as different food items that you would eat at Christmas. So there'll be vegetables, and there's a couple of people dressed up as chickens, hence the name Hens. And Krista has the very important role of playing a bag of flour, which contributes to the Christmas pudding, and there's other children playing fruit, and sugar and things like that, and they'll do a little dance that mixes them all together and produces a Christmas pudding. And surprisingly, I was a bag of flour in my primary school Christmas play, which contributed to the Christmas pudding. So a lot of this book, or a lot of Krista's childhood, is actually based on my own childhood, because you draw from your own experiences, and like I say, Christmas is a time that I really, really enjoy. So so a lot of her experiences are my experiences as well. Not exactly, it's not word for word my life, but there are little bits and pieces in there that do relate to me. Chapter 4 speeds ahead a few years. It's Partridge in a Pear Tree, and Krista is a bit older. I'd say she's about 17 or 18 years old, and she works in a supermarket, and it's September. And the supermarket is insisting on playing Christmas carols already, and they have Christmas decorations for sale and last year's wrapping paper and cards and things like that. And I think if you go into any shop, even now at the end of August, you will find that there are Christmas cards for sale, or, you know, last year's stock that they want to get rid of. And although I do like Christmas, I really, really like Christmas, I think it should always start on 1st of December. I think anything before that is unnecessary. It kind of drags it out too long, and you do get a bit tired and a bit fed up with it. So so poor Krista, she's at work, and her mother has asked her to pick up some wrapping paper before she leaves off work. And when she gets home, she finds her mum singing along to Christmas carols and cutting out snowflakes from paper, ready to decorate the house. And Krista is just, she doesn't want to deal with it, and I think most of us don't want to deal with Christmas in September. You know, it is far too early. And so she like I say, she goes home, and her mum's put out the nativity scene on the mantelpiece, and she's, you know, she's got all those you know, those motion censored dancing animals when you walk past, and they'll start singing Christmas carols and dancing and things like that. And her mum's already started to decorate the house. And so she takes her dog out for a walk down to the beach, because she just has to get away from everything. And on the way to the beach, she bumps into her dad coming home from work, who is carrying a box under his arm which contains an inflatable Christmas tree for the front garden, which Krista's mum wants to put out already. So it's a difficult time for Krista, because she just doesn't want to deal with Christmas at that time. Chapter 5 is called Geese. And Krista is a little bit older. She's at university, and she has a boyfriend whose birthday happens to be on Christmas Day. And this story is about Krista spending Christmas Day with her boyfriend, Christopher. Yes, I know. Who just ruins the entire day by complaining about how it's unfair that he has to share his birthday with Christmas, and he doesn't get to experience all the same things that other people do with their birthdays in, you know, October or July. You know, you can always do something fun with your friends, or go out or have a party. But if your birthday's on Christmas Day, you can't, because you have to do the Christmas Day things. So that's Krista's. I think Krista's probably her first boyfriend, her first serious boyfriend. But after that Christmas, she just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. The next chapter is called Drummers, and Krista has a new boyfriend, and she's gone on holiday with him. They've gone to Australia, and they are spending Christmas in Australia in kind of in a house by the beach, and they're sharing it with some other travellers from I can't remember, from America, who they've met there. And it's and Krista's absolutely loving it, because obviously it's Australia and it's really sunny and it's really warm. And although she does miss Christmas at home, in the cold, she you know, who wouldn't want to spend Christmas Day having a barbecue on the beach? I mean, that's just, it's absolutely lovely. She does have a Skype messaging conversation with her mother, who is so sad that Krista can't be at home for Christmas, because obviously her mother absolutely adores Christmas and wants the whole family to be there. And she does wish Krista a happy Christmas, and gets the dogs to wish her a happy Christmas. And she takes the laptop around the house to show her all the decorations and everything. And although Krista does miss it, she is really looking forward to spending time with, firstly, her boyfriend in a fantastic country on a really hot, lovely day with all these new people. It's a whole new experience for her. And once they've had their Christmas dinner, she takes a walk along the beach with her boyfriend, who breaks up with her. So that's she's not had much luck with boyfriends around Christmas, but she carries on. She carries on. So chapter 7 is dancers, and Krista has finally found somebody. She's getting married. She's going to get married, and this story is about her hen night. Her sister has organised a party for her to celebrate that she'll be getting married soon, and it's just a lovely story of a group of girls going out to a really dodgy pub, but not caring because they're just enjoying themselves so much. It's Christmas. Krista's getting married, and all the girls are just so happy, and although they all get rather drunk and kind of forget what they're doing, it's a time of year to be happy. It's a time of year to go out and have fun and enjoy yourself. Chapter 8 is Lourdes, and Krista's sister Jenny is pregnant, and she's not one of the nicest people, let's say. She's quite selfish. She thinks the world revolves around her, and because she's now pregnant, she expects Krista to do everything for her. So they've gone to the hospital. She's had her scan. She's found out that it's a little boy, so she's now got to go shopping for clothes for her baby boy. And she just kind of causes havoc in a department store, and kind of drives Krista up the wall. And it's just it's quite a funny story of how of not sibling rivalry, but kind of how Krista, being the older sister, has to deal with her younger sister and her kind of crazed hormones making her go mad. Chapter 9 is Swans, and Krista is spending Christmas with her husband's family, who are a bit posh and a bit too serious for her liking, although she does get frustrated with her mum's obsession with Christmas and all the dancing characters and the early decoration. She loves it. It's a comfortable feeling, and Christmas at Krista's house is you just can have fun. You can just enjoy yourself. There might be set routines when you have to open your presents and you have to have your dinner, but you're not. It's a time of singing and laughter and joy. And she's gone to Oliver's parents' house, and they're lovely people, but they're very serious, and Krista isn't used to that. She's used to kind of the eccentric mother, and just an enjoyable time of year. And here she is having to be very serious, very somber, and try to get through the day, even though her husband Oliver, his sister, has come with babies, and his sister is kind of isn't in a very good relationship with her husband, and it's quite an awkward day all round, and not the kind of Christmas that anyone would really enjoy. It's more like a funeral than a day of kind of enjoying yourself. Chapter 10 is called Milking Maids, and Krista's sister again. We've moved forward a few years because she's now got 4 children. She has her firstborn, her son, from a few chapters ago. She's named Valentino because he was born in February. Then she has Marybelle, a daughter, Cherry Cola, another daughter, and Origami, another daughter. Jenny clearly takes after Krista's mother in the more eccentric ways of behaving, and she is she's still breastfeeding Origami. Origami's a baby, hence Milking Maids as the title. And it's the first day of the sales after Christmas, and Krista stupidly said that she would take her sister and her brood of children to the shopping centre to fight through the crowds of people in the sales. And it's just kind of a humorous look at how difficult it is when, first of all, you've got a very frustrating sister to get in the car, then you have 4 of her unruly children to get in the car as well. And I think, although Krista would like to give up, she doesn't. She loves her sister. She does. You can't help but love your family, no matter how much they irritate you. And she does eventually get there to to the car park, but she does need a breather at the end of it. Chapter 11 is Doves, and this is quite sad, sad story. Krista and Jenny's mother has passed away, and well, she passed away the year previous, and Krista has gone to the graveyard to decorate her mother's grave, and she decorates it with tinsel and baubles, and she puts up a couple of the motion sensor characters, because she knows that's what her mother would have liked. She wouldn't have wanted a boring gravestone with just flowers on. She would have wanted the whole Christmas decoration madness, you know, Christmas had just exploded all over the grave. So although it's quite sad, it is quite a lovely story, you know, about, you know, how much she does love her mum, and how much she kind of misses the Christmases that they've had in the past, and she wants to kind of hold on to that. And the last chapter is Collie Birds, and we see Krista. She's an old lady now, and she's living alone. We don't know if her husband has left her or if he has died. That's kind of up to the reader to kind of you know, work out. And this is another sad story, but I don't think everything should have a happy ending. I think we expect too much from life, and I don't want to be morbid, but things go wrong and bad things happen, and if everything was a happy ending, we'd grow up being quite disillusioned and assuming that everything always turns out for the best. And I think as long as you can deal with situations, no matter how awful they might be, then that's all that really matters. That's all that counts. So although we've kind of gone through some ups and downs with Krista through her whole life, through her Christmases, it does end on a more somber note rather than on a happy note. But such is life, and yeah, and this is, you know, this is how the world works. Some people have happy endings and some people don't, but I don't want that to put you off reading it, because I think it's a bit of an eye-opener, and it's a bit of something that makes you realise, you know, that, yeah, you know, you look at your own life, you have your ups and you have your downs, and it's just coping and dealing with it. And throughout this, you can kind of see how Krista, she enjoys herself, and there's so many situations that she just has to fight through, and that she just has to you know, be strong. She has to be strong, and yeah, she just has to, you know, put her best face on, and get on with life. And yeah, and like I say, it's only a small book, and they're little snippets into her life, and you grow with her, and you get to see, you know, her move from childhood into adulthood into old age, and you do get to enjoy some Christmas stories along with it, because who doesn't love Christmas? And like I say, a few bits and pieces in there are based on me and my life, so as well as learning about Krista, you'll also learn about me, the author, as well, and find out kind of some things that I've got up to in my life as well. So I do hope you buy this. It is available on Amazon. You can buy it from Amazon UK, amazon.co.uk, and Amazon.com, Amazon in Canada, Amazon across Europe, probably some other Amazons as well. So whichever country you're in, you probably can find it on your Amazon. So I do hope you read it. You can download it as an ebook onto your Kindle, as well as buying it in paperback. So yeah, so I do hope you enjoy it, and I, you know, shown you the best of what this book is about. And yeah, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.